Welcome to this week's edition of Jet Setting. I'm Ken Weave from Post Media. Special guest in San Jose this week, Paul Edmonds, radio voice of the Winnipeg Jets. Paul, it's been an interesting few days for the Jets. After winning 5 consecutive games, including 3 in overtime, they had a setback against the Los Angeles Kings. Let's start in Los Angeles. What did you see in the game on Tuesday?
Well, I think leading up to the game, you have to look at something that maybe conspires against you. The emotional level of coming out of that Sunday game against Tampa. Can you rise again to try to get to that level? It's awful difficult when you're looking at a team in the standings that's last going into the game, as Los Angeles was in the Western Conference. And I think that at the same time, you travel on the Monday, you elect not to practice that day, and it was the right decision. I think you have to have rest and recovery. And then because of arena availability, you don't get the morning skate on the Tuesday before the game as well. So you've been off the ice for 2 days, and it's just not enough to get out there for the skate before the game to try to get things kind of moving, the blood circulating, that kind of thing. And I think that the Winnipeg Jets were a little bit slow, a little bit lethargic. They certainly competed, but they just didn't have it. And they ran into a team that is urgent right now and playing desperate hockey, trying to get back in the mix before the holidays. They also were buoyed with the Los Angeles Kings by some young guys coming into the lineup in Wagner and Walker and Luff, and all these guys, Brickley on the back end, gave them a boost and I think re-energized some of the older guys in Doughty and Carter and Brown, and Kopitar for me was one of the best players on the ice last night. So all of those things combined, I think, resulted in Winnipeg not having a very good night, Ken, and as a result they are on the other end of a 4-1 loss and now set San Jose in their sights for Thursday night.
Yeah, I thought Jonathan Quick was really good early, and he also was assisted by those 2 saves from Drew Doughty, but overall pretty good night from Quick.
Well, I think from the standpoint that the Winnipeg Jets were in the game, and one save here or there could translate how the game maybe motors along after the fact. And I thought in the second period, especially the 2 saves by Doughty, the one especially when he was back in behind Quick and made the save, and then Quick made some saves on his own that I thought preserved the lead at that point for the Los Angeles Kings. They were on the Winnipeg Jets all night. They had a goal disallowed. Winnipeg got a bit of a break there on the offside call, ticky-tack, if you will, with the skate in the air, that kind of thing. We see that all the time, but that is the rule. The Kings were full marks for that victory, and right from the goaltender out, I thought that they had a real good game. They had a lot of guys going for sure, and as a result, they picked up a much-needed win to get back in the thick of things, as I mentioned before the holidays.
The only guy to find the back of the net, Matthew Perreault, now scored in 5 consecutive games. Bit of a slow start for Perreault as he made a little bit of a transition to right wing, was bouncing around the lineup, but he seems to really be in a groove right now. What do you see from number 85?
Well, this is a guy that we've watched for 5 years here as a Winnipeg Jet and 10 years over his career, coming from Washington, Anaheim, and then in Winnipeg. He's hard on the puck, he's quick. He certainly has some darting ability in his game. He's good with his hands. He can stick handle and skate. And as a result, I think he's been a real nice complement to what you would call that crash and bash line of Tanev and Lowry, who, by the way, both lead the team in hits respectively. Tanev being number 1, Lowry close behind at number 2. And now you've got a scoring element on that line. And both those 2 guys that play with Matthew Perreault can skate as well. Brandon Tanev, one of the fastest skaters on the team. So all in all, when you put in a little bit of that grit on that line and the ability to get up and get on top of the puck in the right way going north, you have a guy that can put the puck in the net. The other 2 guys will dig the puck out for him, and I think it's been a real nice balance on that line. And thus you've got Matthew Perreault with goals in 5 straight games, and a decision, I think, for the coaching staff with Andrew Kopp coming back, maybe after the Christmas break, of where you're going to slot Andrew Kopp, whether he goes back in or you leave that line, or maybe he finds a spot on the 4th line.
I think the good news there, Mason Appleton said he is comfortable playing either wing, so I think that might even keep him in the lineup. We'll have to see that. Just a quick thought, going into the Christmas break, 2 games left, Paul, 1 in San Jose, 1 in Vancouver. What are the Jets looking to do as they close out the pre-Christmas portion of the schedule?
Well, they're going to have 2 tough tests, and they always rise to the opponent's level, I think, especially when it's a team that's comparable to them. So I think on Thursday night you're going to see a Winnipeg Jets team that's a little bit upset about the showing to start this road trip in Los Angeles, come out with a little bit more speed, a little bit more focus on getting that puck to the net and driving the net and having that net drive, certainly defending a little bit more. It's going to be up and down the ice. And then don't take Vancouver for granted. They're playing real well, and again, like Los Angeles, but with a better record, buoyed by some young stars and some new guys in the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. I don't think the Jets have put the Christmas break ahead of anything. I think they'll play these 2 games and then enjoy the break, but I'm looking forward to them on the schedule here before we get to that break on the 23rd.
Thanks a lot for joining me, Paul. That's another edition of Jet Set.